Welcome to another episode of Crafting with Roswell. Today I'll be walking you through the steps of making an Elmer's Glue seasonal canvas. Each kit includes a 5x7 canvas panel, a printout of leaf templates to guide your design, and a paintbrush. You will also need acrylic paints in your choice of colors, Elmer's liquid glue, rinse water and paper towels, and I'll be using a recycled takeout container to mix my paints. And I have a blow dryer nearby to help speed up drying times. First up is using our glue to create our leaf designs on our canvas panel. Creating a leaf pattern is completely optional. That's what I'll be doing today, but feel free to make whatever kind of pattern you would like with your glue. The trickiest part of this project is getting your glue started in a way that's consistent and evenly flowing, but not too thickly to create your designs. So play around with the flow, and you'll want to keep tweaking it until you get just the right amount of glue coming out. We're not going super thin where it immediately disappears on the canvas, but we're not going very heavy either, where it would take a long time for it to dry. So I'm just freehanding a leaf outline based on one of the designs on the template sheet. So you can see the wet look of the glue on the left side, and you'll also notice some leaf patterns to the right that I had started earlier and that have already dried. So this gives you an idea of what it looks like when you start, and then the final result you're looking for before we start adding paint. If you do your glue too thickly, it will take a long time to dry. This has been drying for a few hours and it's still nowhere near. And also you'll see some of the letters filled in and distorted because there was too much glue. So that's just an example of what not to do. So a nice thin layer of glue works best for this project. So I'm going to go ahead in quicker speed, add a few more leaves to this side of my canvas panel, and then we'll switch gears and start painting. You can use my old-fashioned technique with your postcard to help dry some of your glue, or you can bring out a blow dryer to speed up the process. When using your blow dryer, I recommend the lowest blower setting along with the lower heat setting. And don't blow directly on your canvas. Kind of do off to the side so it's getting some indirect air to start. With your glue being very liquid, we don't want it spraying around and distorting your design. That can be a technique used for a different day. So I'm just working along the outer edge, giving it some indirect air to help it start to dry. And then as it starts to dry, I will slowly move my blow dryer towards the center of the canvas and over the design more to give it more direct air. You can see the different stages of drying time. So the far right is completely dry. On the left is starting to dry. I'm going to go ahead and start adding paints. Very little paint is needed in order to actually cover your entire canvas. So I'm just starting with a little dollop of each color. And I also plan on mixing the colors together just to create this whole fall theme across my panel. So I'm going to go ahead and get started using my red color first. And I'm going to bring over my rinse water because I'm going to actually dilute this paint a bit with some of that rinse water. I don't want it to be stark, bright, contrasty colors. I want my paints to kind of flow into each other. So I'm just going to add a little water so this isn't quite so thick. And then start wherever you would like on your canvas and work your way across. And so you're not watching me decide all of my steps in painting. I'm going to speed this up a little bit for you. Starting with my red, adding a little yellows and oranges, and really kind of blending them all together to create my fall palette. You'll notice that your leaves become more visible as you cover them with paint. This is also a pretty cool effect by using the Elmer's glue, but I'll be showing you part of the original intended effect at the end of painting this half of the canvas. The newly glued on leaves aren't 100% dry, so I'm just going to focus on this half first and then come back to those later on. But for now, my favorite activity, we're going to watch paint dry. A few minutes have passed and we'll get back to our project. So using just the tip of my fingernail, I'm doing a light scraping of the glue off of my canvas. I'm not scraping too far because I don't want to damage the actual top layer of the canvas panel. So I'm just doing a light scraping, focusing on the gluey texture that was dried on the surface. So use a mixture of your fingertip, rubbing against the canvas, and also your fingernail to kind of scrape away any glue, and you'll create a distressed look of the canvas underneath. I'm going to give this one more shot of air, help dry the paint a little more. I felt like it was smudging as I was working. And then I'll continue to peel away the glue of that one leaf in that corner. I'm going to speed up this process for you, but again, I recommend going slowly, removing the glue, gently rubbing, gently scraping. Definitely use this kit as a way to experiment with different glue techniques and have some fun. Tune in next week for the spider web vase project.